Hello, Four-Star Nation, and welcome to Week 2 College Pickem. We got Zach, Razorback Zach from Inside the Hog Pen in here. We got Nathan Wilson. We got Brandon Bumgarner. Two guys that come on the show, The Point, Brandon and my show. Christian Johnson from the Inside the Hog Trough will be on shortly. We thank you, everybody watching right now on our YouTube page, 4-Star Sports Show, Inside the Hog Pen, Zach. Razorback Zach's page, and here on 4-Star Sports Media. I am Wes Pruitt. Zach, let's talk a little bit about last week real quick just to get started. I'm going to go around the room here. Everybody give me their most impressive team and most disappointing team. Zach, we'll start with you.
Do we have to? I mean,
yes.
Oh man, most impressive team last week. I'd have to go UCLA with that win over LSU. Simply because of the fact that I kept going back and forth on that game, and I was surprised that LSU, didn't show up. Almost,
Yeah, I mean that was a back and forth game all the way to the end. That was a really good win by Chip Kelly, for sure. I think he's got something special brewing out there in out on the West Coast. Zach, what would you say is your most disappointing team? Would it be LSU?
No. Actually, I'm gonna give that one to Arkansas.
Really?
Yeah, and here's why.
Wow. Okay.
Here's my method of thinking. Okay. We talked up KJ Jefferson for weeks. He's different. He's better. He's more improved. And I get it. First game jitters. I totally understand that. But the problem I had is we didn't see that consistency out of him. And it took Pitt coming out on halftime. I don't know if you guys caught his halftime comments.
He was livid.
Pitt coming out, and he was just mad. I've never seen a coach that mad before. And yeah, we came back and we handled the second half, 31 unanswered points. Yeah. But again, to me, that's no excuse. You should have had this game handled in the first half. The score should have not have ever been the way it was. I'd love to give it to LSU, but I got to stay home and I got to give it to Arkansas.
Okay. All right. We'll go down to my boy Brandon Bumgarner down there. Bum, who is your most impressive team and most disappointing team from last week?
The most impressive team was by far the Kansas Jayhawks because they actually won a damn football game. No, it's actually Tulane. Tulane's the most impressive team in my eyes, honestly. They went into Norman, Oklahoma in some weird circumstances because of a hurricane down in New Orleans. Wrecked them, and they went to Norman, Oklahoma, and I guess kind of a hostile environment. There really wasn't anybody there, but they lost to the number 2 ranked team in the country by 5 points. Tulane looked awesome last weekend. As a Memphis fan, them being in the AAC, I was cheering for them. I was very happy with their performance. They look good. Chip Long, he's got that offense looking good, man. He's their offensive coordinator over there, former offensive coordinator at Notre Dame, former offensive coordinator at Memphis. I really think he's pretty good. But, Tulane's my most impressive team for this past week, next to Kansas, who actually got a win in football.
And stormed the field, did they not?
They did storm the field because they beat North Dakota. Not North Dakota State, but they beat North Dakota, and they rushed the field.
Who would be your most disappointing team this week?
By far, my most disappointing team is Iowa State. Iowa State is supposed to be a powerhouse. Brock Purdy, great quarterback, big-time draft prospect. They pooed the bed. And I don't want to take another disappointing team from anybody, so I'm not going to mention them, but they played Thursday night, and they have another quarterback that is supposed to be a top 5 pick in the draft, but I'm not going to name them. They're also ranked in the top 10 as well. But, yeah, those two teams, I mean, I know Iowa State got the win, but, they played, Western Iowa or somebody like that and almost lost. Only won by 6 points. So, Yeah, definitely Iowa State for me. Yeah, they're always ranked super high. Matt Campbell has that team looks like trending in the right direction, and they just struggle right off the bus.
Yeah.
It really doesn't make any sense. That team should be successful, and I don't know, guys.
Yeah, it's tough. Nathan, what about you, man? Most impressive, most disappointing?
So my most impressive, I will say, that played Monday night Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin has built that program, dude, and it was I was very entertained watching that game. The no huddle offense they did. I mean, I heard Kurt Herbstreit said they couldn't even run replays because Ole Miss was already to the line, ready to go. Matt Corral is an impressive quarterback. I mean, that offense and is just astonishing right now with all the weapons that they got. But my most disappointing, and I know this is going to be something, but Oklahoma. I mean, Spencer Rattler is supposed to be this Heisman. They project him to win the Heisman. He throws up these passes that just makes you shake your head. Like, who are you throwing to? It was pitiful to watch that. But yeah, I mean, Oklahoma, man, if they're coming to the SEC, I hate to say it, but everybody's going to run all over them in the SEC.
I'll say this about Oklahoma before Zach goes in because I
Wait-
know
wait a
he's
minute,
got something to say. Go ahead.
Oh, you really?
I mean, okay, I'll just say this. I mean, did Tulane come out and play a hell of a football game? Yes, they did. Oh, I mean, first game jitters, I get it.
Well,
I think.
I remember now. I'm thinking you played somebody else.
I mean,
My bad.
I think that OU's got some things to work on. I mean, let's be honest. Clemson's got some things to work on. For that, for that matter, I mean, Clemson's got some major offensive line issues as well. I would say, and those are all great choices. I would say my most impressive. I mean, that's really hard. Probably Virginia Tech. Just as far as the win. Once again, first game jitters. Teams have some issues. But I think Justin Fuente and getting that win at home at Lane Stadium, and that place was rocking, over North Carolina, that's an impressive win. And probably, let's be honest, a job-saving win, I think. Most disappointing.
Yeah, that win definitely secured his job.
Most definitely. And it was impressive to see just how physical their offensive line was, not just in the first quarter, not just in the second quarter, but the entire game. Their offensive line just ate North Carolina up the entire game. Georgia probably would have to be my second most impressive. The Georgia defense, I'll put it that way. The Georgia defense was extremely impressive. Didn't see anything out of their offense. Didn't really see anything out of either one of those offenses the whole game. That game had a lot of hype that didn't turn out at all.
Speaking of Georgia, can I switch my Heisman winner? Because I don't want it to be JT Daniels anymore. The guy couldn't throw a pass 5 yards down the field. There were no points scored in that game at all.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. I mean, Clemson was just as bad. They were actually worse. But, that was I went back and watched it after I got home from the Memphis game. That was one of the most boring football games I think I've ever watched. It was just straight defense. Now, I'm a defensive-minded guy. I enjoy it.
Do you think that rivals Alabama LSU from a couple years ago, the 9-7 game?
No, because that game was different. You knew somebody could just break out and score at any time. The Clemson Georgia game, I felt like both those offenses were just stuck in quicksand. They couldn't do anything. All right, Zach, speaking of last week, my most disappointing team, I'm sorry. My most disappointing team would have to be, this light's giving me issues. My most disappointing team is probably going to have to be Washington. How do you lose to Montana? Yes, they may very well rebound this week against Michigan. We'll talk about that here in a little bit.
Go Grizz.
Go Grizz. But I just I don't get it. How do you lose to Montana? My honorable mention for most disappointing, by the way, is the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes. Which, first off, I don't understand that mascot. But anyway, how do you lose? Who did they lose to, Brandon? Was it like Chuck Davis University or Chuck Davis A&M? It was some no-name school. It was pitiful. But when you look at it, last week was fun to watch. We saw some things happen we weren't expecting. Look at that Florida State Notre Dame game. That was an amazing football game last Sunday night. Really impressed to see how Mike Norvell did against a really good Notre Dame team. Let's be honest. But Zach, when you look at last week, how did our picks in our weekly Pick'em show turn out last week?
All righty.
Now I know Brandon didn't get to pick all last
There's
week.
There's an asterisk next to all of this.
There is an asterisk next to all of it, but go ahead.
But in last place, because he didn't get to pick 9 games, Brandon is sitting at 11-3-9. So he's got the best winning percentage right now if you want to look at it overall.
Yes.
In 4th place, you've got USC with 14-9 out of 23 games. Tied for 2nd is me and Christian at 17-6. And then you got the Bammer at the top at 18-5.
I have the highest winning percentage.
I was waiting on that. I knew it was coming. And let's not pump Nathan up too much. He's already a Bama fan.
Right. That's kind of why I said it.
Yeah. All right, guys. So let's get into this week. Got a list of games. First game I want to go over is the big game at 11 a.m. I believe it's coming on Fox. Oregon, Ohio State. Brandon, we'll start with you. Who you got between the Ducks and the Buckeyes?
Man, Ohio State didn't look very good first half against Minnesota last week. I actually thought Minnesota was going to beat them at one point. So Minnesota actually kind of beat themselves. But I can't pick against the Buckeyes. Give me Ohio State. I don't see how good Oregon's going to do against them. I just think there's too much power in that Buckeyes locker room. And, yeah, give me Ohio State.
By the way, thank you, Brad Staten, for the UC. It was Tulsa got me by UC Davis. Thank you. I appreciate that. Also, thank you to everybody watching right now. Again, 4-Star Sports Media Facebook page, Inside the Hog Pen Facebook page, and 4-Star Sports Show YouTube page. Real quick, we're going to go around the room and get all the sponsorship stuff out of the way real quick. Want to thank very good friend of mine, Alan McFerrin, BA Masks. They're called Badass Masks, and they are. And now they're involved in the NIL deal. They have BA athletes. Check them out, bamasks.com. Also, real quick, over on The Point, we just got a brand new sponsorship. My guy, Stephen Plunk, known him for about 22 years, I guess now. He is the man over there. Go by and see him. Tell him 4-Star Sports sent you. They've got some single barrel whiskeys that are only at their store. Go by and check them out. Germantown Village Wine and Liquors on Poplar in Germantown. Zach, go ahead.
Gotta always thank my sponsor, Lost Pizza, for letting me come on. Everybody knows it's my home away from home when I'm not in Fayetteville. Check them out, 510 Highway 5 North in Benton. Call them ahead for curbside or carry out, 501-794-6441. And shout out to Chuck. Shout out to Brad for hanging out tonight. Those are two of my longest fans.
Thank you very much for everybody watching once again. All right, back to this Oregon and Ohio State game. Let me get mine out of the way. I'm going to take Ohio State as well. I love what Oregon is wearing Saturday, by the way. Those whiteout uniforms are sweet. But I
know
just think
somebody else wearing white uniforms this weekend, too.
I know. We'll get to that later. When it comes to Ohio State, man, I really think this team is a team to look out for. I think they are going to be right back in the playoffs again. Well deserved. Ryan Day is an amazing play caller, amazing recruiter, amazing motivator, and this team is loaded top to bottom for sure. Give me Ohio State. Let's go, Nathan. What about you, man? Oregon, Ohio State.
Yeah, give me. I'm gonna go with Ohio State again. Oregon, I believe, lost one of their top defensive ends in week 1. So that's
There ain't
going
no
to hurt
defense
them a
played
little
in the
bit.
Pac-12. You know that, Nathan.
I know, but I got to give them some little credit to make them feel good. But I'm going to go with Ohio State. I mean, their wide receiver unit they got is just amazing. Quarterback, I mean, yeah, he struggled there in the first half, but he started pulling it together in the second half. So I believe you're going to see him come out and be a little bit more comfortable in the pocket and make big plays. So give me Ohio State.
One thing that really impressed me about that Ohio State team, generally you got a new quarterback coming in. You would think the coach would keep it pretty simple. I really think Ryan Day really just kind of let CJ Stroud just kind of go out there and play ball, just kind of slinging around the yard. Zach, what about you on this game?
I mean, I'm going to be with the rest of you fellas. I'm going to go Ohio State. I mean, they looked impressive, man. What can you say? What can you say about this Ohio State team? They're going to be a playoff contender.
I completely agree. I think they will be. I most definitely think they will be. Up next, we've got a game going on between the hedges. Alabama A&M travels to take on the Auburn Tigers, number 25 in the nation, Auburn Tigers now, after that stellar win last week. I'm going to go Auburn. I think this Auburn team is going to be a threat in the SEC, to be honest with you. That Tank Bigsby is a absolute beast. Love that guy. Runs the ball really hard, really well. Going to be a lot of fun. Brandon, what about you, man? Auburn, Alabama, A&M.
Can I be honest?
Sure.
Why are we even picking this game? Auburn's going to win by 9.
I mean, I was just going through all the SEC teams. Really, is what I was doing.
Blame West this week.
I'm just messing with you. Yeah, Auburn's going to win big.
So, do we all say Auburn? Everybody say aye.
Aye, and I've got Christian's picks too, since he couldn't make it to
He picked Alabama A&M, didn't he?
Yeah. No, he picked Auburn.
Knew he would. Up next, we got a battle of the Carolinas. South Carolina taking on East Carolina. Shane Beamer got a nice win in his first game as South Carolina head coach with a quarterback that used to be a coach. He put the clipboard down, put on the uniform, got on the field, and was throwing BBs all around the daggum yard last week. It was actually fun to watch. I like this Shane Beamer coach. I think he's going to do pretty well at South Carolina. That's a tough job. That's a very tough job. Obviously, Steve Spurrier won there. The great Lou Holtz had it going there as well at one time.
Holtz.
Yeah, Lou Holtz. Lou Holtz was winning. But when you look at this game, when you look at this game, do you think East Carolina's got any type of a shot? Now, their offense is got a little bit of high-poweredness to it, Zach.
That one's hard. I mean, you've got a quarterback with South Carolina that is a coach. A coach. How do you do that? Like, I can see a wide receiver scooting over and playing quarterback, but a coach, man, you got to give the edge to South Carolina. Easy.
I think it's going to be closer than people think, to be honest with you. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to give the edge to East Carolina. I'm going to pick South Carolina in this game, but I think this game is going to be a little bit closer than a lot of the fans are expecting. Nathan, what about you, man?
Yeah, give me South Carolina. I think if it is close, it'll be maybe a touchdown, but I think South Carolina comes in, pulls it off.
I don't want to speak for Brandon, but I would assume he would pick South Carolina. Brad State said, I'm flying in from Colorado Springs for the Arkansas versus Mississippi State game in November.
Yeah.
Can't wait. We'll pick Suey. That is going to be a fun game as well. Up next, we've got Pitt,
So
UT.
are we putting I'm trying to keep track of all the picks.
Oh,
Are we
go
putting
ahead.
South Carolina down for bump?
Yeah.
And we got all my old school fans in here tonight. Chuck, Brad, and now Dusty. What?
Appreciate everybody watching. We really appreciate it. Up next, we've got Florida and South Florida.
I think you skipped one.
Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, I skipped right over UT. Pitt versus UT. I'm going to take Pitt. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, Brandon's taking Pitt.
Okay, what did I miss?
South Carolina, East Carolina. I spoke for you and picked South Carolina. Is that accurate?
No.
Oh,
Go
okay.
Pirates. No,
Okay.
South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
I was like, damn, all right.
Paul Anthony said, "I just been creeping." Hey,
Oh,
appreciate you creeping. That's cool.
that's my boy right there. Paul's my boy.
You can always creep our page. It's cool. Brandon, Florida, South Florida.
No, Pitt, Tennessee.
Florida. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. My bad. I keep just skipping over them. It's just natural. Zach, Pitt, Tennessee.
I'm gonna go Pitt.
Good man. Nathan, Pitt, Tennessee.
That'd be Pitt.
Okay. All right. Everybody says Pitt. All right. Cool.
No,
Florida,
wait, hold on. You didn't ask me.
I already know the answer. Brandon, Pitt or UT?
He's going to say Tennessee.
No, it's not.
Pittsburgh. Downtown Pittsburgh. They're going to whoop the Bulls' ass.
All right. Florida, South Florida. Florida, I really wasn't all that impressed with them last week. They got a win. Was it that impressive? No, not really. They took a while to kind of get their engines going. I think that quarterback is going to be really, really, really good, though. Emory Jones is going to be a very fun quarterback to watch. And Dan Mullen just has a way of motivating his football teams, no matter where he's been, whether that's under Urban Meyer at Boston or at Bowling Green or wherever he's been. I think Dan Mullen is one of the best coaches of our generation. Just my opinion.
Yeah.
Dan Mullen has coached Alex Smith, Dak Prescott, Tim Tebow, Chris Leak, Kyle Trask.
Tim Tebow?
Yeah. He was the OC.
He was offensive coordinator at Florida.
That's right. So have we done Florida, South Florida?
That's what we're doing right now, as a matter of fact.
All right.
I'm going to take Florida in this game. I don't think South Florida will be able to hang with them. I think the athletes will just take over. Give me South Florida. Nathan, what about you, man?
I'm going to go with Dan Mullen and the Gators. This is going to be a little warm-up game. I believe Florida's just going to run all over South Florida. I mean, let's just be honest. Dan Mullen's got a plan, but I think the big game's going to be next week when they take on the University of Alabama.
Oh, here we go. See, we ain't even got there
Here we
yet.
go now.
He just wants to throw it out there every week. Just wants to tell us who's on the schedule for the next month. It's okay. Let's go. Bum. What about you, man?
What game are we picking? I'm sorry.
Oh, you're okay. Florida, South Florida. We know you're working.
Yeah, Florida.
Okay. Up next.
Hello.
Oh, you're going to pick Florida?
Yeah, I am. I just
Up
want
next.
to feel included.
I know. You just want to be included. Up next, I think this may be, or I don't want to say I think this. Some people think this may be a trap game for Virginia Tech coming off that big win last week against North Carolina. They got the the Blue Raiders, my bad, from Middle Tennessee State University coming to town to take on the Hokies in Lane Stadium. Enter Sandman will be rocking again, I'm sure. Brandon, is there any chance MTSU can pull the shock at Lane Stadium this week?
Well, it's a battle of two of the greatest head coaches in the history of the University of Memphis program. Defensive line coach at Middle Tennessee State University, Tommy West, and head coach at Virginia Tech, Justin Fuente. Give me the Hokies, whatever the hell you want to call them. Big. But, man, I respect the hell out of both those guys. They did a lot for this city. They did a lot for both our university here in the city of Memphis. And, man, yeah, give me Fuente and the Hokies, whatever the hell you want to call them, like I said.
All right, he's taking the Hokies. All right, give me Virginia Tech, but I think this is going to be a little closer than people may think. Justin Ross Garrison said Virginia Tech covers the spread. Brad Staten said he said Hokies. He did.
What in the world's a hookie?
A hookie. We know what a hookie is. A hookie.
A hokey pokey?
Zach, what about you? Vatech or MTSU?
Give me Vatech. Give me Vatech.
You think it's gonna be big?
I mean, it could be. I mean, everybody's definition of big is different. I mean, it'll be a decent game. It'll be a decent game. I believe that.
Okay. Nathan, what about you, man?
Virginia Tech.
All right. Holy Toledo. No pun intended. They're traveling to play Notre Dame this week. Toledo goes into Notre Dame. This game is being streamed on Peacock, by the way. You can only watch it on the cock. It's the only thing you can watch it on is Peacock. So that's the only way it's being streamed. So you can watch it. Do what?
This is a kid show.
Oh, I mean, it's just Peacock.
It's PG rating. PG.
That's what it's called. It's called Peacock. All right. So Notre Dame, I thought, played a pretty good game last week. Now, I will say this about Notre Dame. They got gashed by Florida State last week in the run game. I mean, gashed. Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. It's really just breaking down the syllables. But sorry, somebody commented and said I said his name correctly. Everybody gonna take Notre Dame here? Do y'all think this may be close? You think Notre Dame's gonna
blowout?
Blowout?
Yeah, blowout.
I think Toledo's gonna hang with them for roughly a half, and then Notre Dame will take over in the second half. How about?
I don't even know where Toledo is.
Ohio.
It was a joke, Wes.
Oh, okay. All right. Up next, you got UAB. For those of you who don't know, UAB would be UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham, traveling out to take on the Dogs from Georgia, coming off a nice win over Clemson last week. UAB's had a nice little football program the last few years. I've really been kind of impressed with them. Do you think there's any way Georgia has a letdown this week, Brandon, or no? Zach, what about you, man? Does Georgia have a letdown this week?
No? I don't think so. I think you're gonna build off that Clemson game. I still don't think JT Daniels is Heisman material, but Georgia's going to take that next step, and they're going to be. I mean, you're talking about the one team in the SEC East that's going to be the SEC East. So I think they take that next step, and I think Georgia wins.
By the way, Brad, yes, UAB is in Alabama. That would be the University of Alabama in Birmingham. And Chuck Pendergrass, nobody in this room right here is ever speechless. I can promise you that.
I'm sorry, I'm working, guys.
Oh, I know. No, you're good. And I know you would take Georgia in this game big. I really don't know, man. I didn't get a good gauge of what Georgia is last week because I don't know what they are. I didn't see anything. I mean, I saw a good defense. I saw a defense that was motivated.
You're
but
not
offensively, I didn't see anything.
Yeah, you're not going to see what this Georgia team is like until they hit the SEC East schedule. Because you're going to have all these teams that they're just going to walk through. Now, they struggled with Clemson, but it's Clemson, all right? They've been good the last couple of years. So, I mean, I'm going to defend that and say you're not going to see what Georgia's like until at least week 4.
I mean, I just figured I would see glimpses or, just something. I saw nothing.
Do you think – so you've been asking a lot of questions. Let me ask one for you.
Sure.
Do you think that Kirby Smart is losing his touch with the University of Georgia?
No, I think Kirby Smart's building a team that's going to beat Alabama this season.
Really?
Yes, I think this is his year to beat Alabama. I've just got to see more. It's there. Trust me, the talent is there.
So do you think – okay, I guess they're going to be playing them – the only time they'll see them is what, in the SEC Championship?
Yes.
Because I don't think they're the crossover.
No, they're not.
So, all right, I'll take it.
Brandon's got something to say. I can feel it.
It's not really anything to say. I just think that we're wasting our time talking about teams that are facing Georgia when they're going to be the only team that contends with Alabama for a national title this year.
That's a good point. Speaking of teams in the SEC that will compete with Georgia, Texas A&M comes in number 5. Now, they struggled a little bit against Kent State last week. But now they make a little road trip. They travel out to Colorado against a good Colorado football team. Everybody's saying this is a trap game. I agree that this may very well be a trap game. Give me A&M. I think A&M will get the win this week. I think it's a couple weeks down the road that they get that first loss. But what about you, Zach? Colorado, A&M.
I got to give it to A&M. I think I got a feeling that A&M's on their way up, and they're going to be rattling a lot of cages this year.
Yeah. Yeah, everything that I've seen and read, man, from the beat writers down there at A&M, saying that being at practice, that this team is elite and that this team is really, really, really good. They just hadn't really started clicking yet.
And once they start clicking, they're gonna make a lot of noise, and as a Razorback fan, that scares me when they go to Dallas.
I mean, I'm on record saying Arkansas is going to beat them this year. I still stand by it. I stand by it. But that's not taking anything away from A&M. Brandon, A&M, Colorado. You got it. You got A&M.
Yeah, give me Daryl Dickey and the Aggies.
All right, Nathan, you gonna take Colorado? Split it up a little bit.
I mean, Jimbo Fisher does have a good team over there, A&M. I mean, he's a hell of a coach. And it's at A&M, you said?
No, it's at Colorado in Boulder.
You know what? Give me Colorado on the upset.
I'm telling you, I have a sneaky feeling about that game. Sneaky feeling. Up next, we're going to jump a few games here. Up next, a game that I personally am really looking forward to, and first time ever that both of these teams will come in ranked. Iowa State. Always a physical football game with being Big Ten. Always going to be a lot of fun. Matt Campbell's got something going in Ames, Iowa. Then you look over to Kirk Ferentz, been there since I feel like the beginning of time. That guy's been there for years. Same style, doesn't change. Generally fairly effective at it. Brandon, Iowa State. How do you see this one going?
Where is the game?
It is at Iowa State.
Give me Iowa.
And I believe game day is there, as a matter of fact.
Give me Iowa.
Really?
Yeah, Iowa State. Like I said, they were one of my most disappointing teams last week. I think you get an upset, and I think the Hawkeyes get a win. And while they're waving to the crowd and the children waving down to them, give me Iowa.
Interesting. Nathan, what about you?
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun game to watch. But man, Iowa State was very disappointing, like Bum said. You know what? I'm gonna back Bum on this. Give me Iowa.
Okay. I'm actually gonna take Iowa State. I like Matt Campbell. I think he does an amazing job. And like you said, Brandon, they've got talent on that field. Look at the quarterback, Brock Purdy. An amazing quarterback. Plays the game very well, very cerebral as well. I'm going to take Iowa State in this one. I think it's going to be close. I agree with Justin just on the flip side of it. Justin said that Iowa will win by a field goal. I think it's going to be the other way around. I think Iowa State will get the win by a field goal. What about you, Zach?
Hang on, I'm trying to catch up with y'all's picks. I had a little technical issue.
Oh, you're good.
Bum, who did you pick?
He took Iowa.
He took Iowa?
So did Nathan.
Okay. I'm going to give it to Iowa State, and I'm going to go Iowa State by 7.
Okay. All right. Up next, a game that I'm looking forward to. I think it's going to be a good football game. App State making a little trip down to Coral Gables to take on the Miami Hurricanes down in Hard Rock Stadium. Going to be a lot of fun down there. I think it's going to be a really good game. Talk about App State. Look at the season they had last year, Brandon. I really think App State's going to be able to come in here and give Miami a game. Now, let's be honest. Miami got drugged last week by Alabama. We all saw that coming, I think. I don't think that was really a shock to anybody. But if you're Manny Diaz and you're Alabama and you're Miami, can you afford to lose this game this week to App State at home?
You can't afford to lose the game, especially if you're Manny Diaz, because you're kind of held with a tight string down there at Miami. I mean, it is the U. Sorry for the background noise, but no, give me the Hurricanes. I think they win. I think App State, they're not a fraud, but I don't think they're as good as everybody makes them out to be. I think they're a decent mid-level non-Power 5 team. They're not one of the top contenders. You put them in the American Conference or against Boise State or something, I think they lose that game too. Give me Miami. I think they have too much firepower. They have too much talent. It'll be it might be a close game, but I think Miami gets it done because it's at home, one, and two, like, App State doesn't really rock my world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it. You know what? Give me App State in this game. After watching Miami last week, the way they played Alabama, once again, guys, I'm not sold on De'Aaron King at all. I'm just not. So give me App State in this one. Zach, what about you? And then after Zach, we'll go to Nathan right after.
You kept saying we weren't surprised by the way that they played against Alabama last week. I kind of was because, and I'm going to tell you why. Did I think they had a chance against Alabama? Not in your life. But to play the way that they did after all that talk. Now, you don't see them putting a diss track out against App State. So, I'm not sold on De'Aaron King. I got to go App State on this, and I'm going to go App State by 3. Nate, what about you?
Go ahead, Nate.
I think Miami's going to bounce back after that loss to Alabama. I think they'll come back, and I think they'll beat App State.
Okay. All right, 2 more games, and then we'll get to our final 2 games that we'll talk about every week on this show. First game, Washington, my most disappointing team of last week, travels to Michigan to take on the Fighting Jim Harbaugh. Do we think that Washington can right the ship and get the big win at the big house? Zach, what about you?
Michigan. They finally break through, and they're going to have a decent season. So give me the Wolverines.
Okay. Nathan, what about you, man?
Yeah, Michigan's got one heck of a quarterback right now. The throws he was making was ridiculous. But, yeah, there ain't no – I don't see Washington coming into the big house and winning. So give me Michigan.
All right. Bump, what about you, man?
Michigan big. Washington doesn't even compete in this game.
I think Washington's going to pull the upset this week. Y'all call me crazy if you want to. I think they are.
You're crazy, Wes.
Okay, well, I've been called worse. I think Washington's going to get the win this week. I think they're going to walk in and shock Michigan at home.
Well, you're not alone. Christian picked Washington as well.
See.
Hey, Wes, are we doing the Murray State, Cincy, Ball State, Penn State, Mercer, Bama?
No, because, everybody's just going to pick the favorite in those games.
All right.
Up next, a big rivalry game out in the Pac-10. Or Pac-12. Sorry, not Pac-10. Stanford Usc. Usc, I thought played pretty well last week. They've got some offensive firepower for sure. Caden Slovis is slinging the ball everywhere. Taj Washington, former Memphis Tiger, had a great game last week. Touchdown pass as well. Brandon, is USC going to keep this thing rolling? Is the head coach going to stay off the hot seat this season?
I just missed everything you said.
Talking about USC Stanford. Just said a little bit about USC. Caden Slovis played well last week. Todd Washington has a touchdown pass for him, former Memphis Tiger. I said, do you think that the coach will be able to keep his butt off the hot seat this year?
Only if he wins. Clay Helton I think he's a good ball coach, but got to win games. So I don't know. It'll be tough for him to stay off the hot seat because it's USC and they want to win out there. But especially if you have guys like Chip Kelly beating LSU, go Tigers, consistently. But yeah, give me USC in this game. But yeah, Clay Helton, I don't know. It's going to be a tough year for him to keep his job.
I'd like to see him keep it. I think USC is going to be. I think they're probably the first or second best team out there in that conference. I honestly do. I mean, look at what they did last year. I think they played really well. Zach, what about you, man? USC Stanford.
Give me USC. I think they got something brewing out there in the Pac-12 on that LA coastline.
Yeah, I mean it's USC. It's the fight on.
Right.
I mean they're a definite force out there.
Who did you have? Sorry, Wes, I didn't mean to.
He took USC.
USC. Okay.
I'm also going to take USC as well. I did not know until last week that Emmitt Smith's son is the running back for Stanford, though. I think that's very cool. Really surprised he didn't go to Florida, honestly. Nathan, what about you, man? USC Stanford. Then we get into the last 2 games of the week.
Yeah, so this game, I mean, it's going to be fun to watch as well. But yeah, there ain't no way I'm going to pick against USC. So yeah, you put me down for USC. And also, I'd like to mention one more game before we get to our last 2. Just a reminder to everybody that Ed Ogeron is going to take on his son this weekend.
Yes, he is. They take on McNeese State, and Cody Orgeron is Ed Orgeron's son, and he's a starting quarterback. It's going to be very, very cool to watch. Go ahead, Brent.
We got a bad team down here in the great state of Louisiana. We're disappointing. Got hit by a hurricane last week. And I'm not talking about Hurricane Ida. I'm talking about them UCLA Bruins and they sissy blue shirts. But go Tigers.
That's so awesome. All right, up next, we've got a big game going up on the hill in Fayetteville. You got Texas Longhorns traveling to Arkansas to take on the Fighting Sam Pittman Arkansas Razorbacks. Speaking of Sam Pittman, he was pissed off last halftime. He listed off that girl asked him what was wrong with that team, and that man got his hand out and went through about 5 different things in 2 seconds. He was livid. This week, they take on the Texas Rangers. Steve Sarkisian is now at the helm. They have got a nasty, nasty, nasty running back. I think he's the best player in the Big 12. I also think he's a dark horse for the Heisman if he stays healthy. I know there's a lot of Arkansas fans watching this. I want to get my pick out of the way first so all y'all can just be mad at me. I think Texas is going to win this game by about 40 points. Go ahead, Zach.
Oh, man. Y'all know I'm a Razorback fan through and through. Y'all know it. Y'all know it. Y'all know it. Texas has got a record of the overall series 56-22. The last meeting was the Texas Bowl on December the 29th of 2014 in Houston. Arkansas wins 31-7. Here's the key. Since the year 2000, Arkansas has the edge. I want to say it's like 4-2. I think I have to double check that. But here's the thing. I'm still not sold on KJ. I think he takes the next step, but I think Texas is just going to have our number. It is going to be a packed house, 80,000 people, and they're selling standing room only on top of the Broyles Center, like it was the hog pen out in Baum. But man, I got to give it. It pains me to say it, but I got to go Texas on this one by at least by 7. I don't think it's going to get any bigger than 7, but I think Texas wins it. Chuck Pendergrass said 3-2. Thank you, Chuck.
By the way, Christian, yes, I did say I think Texas win this game by 40 points. Yes, I know I probably just made every Arkansas fan I know
And I hereby quit.
I just hey, you want to know my opinion? I'm going to give it to you. I'm an open book. Nathan, what about you, man? Arkansas, Texas, who gets the dub?
All right. So I watched the Arkansas game. I watched Texas play. Texas does have a good squad this year. Steve Sarkisian has his guys ready to play. But you know what? As an Alabama fan, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going with Texas. I'm going with the Arkansas Razorbacks. I think Sam Pittman, he's a heck of a coach. He's going to come in there. He's ready to stop. He's going to come in, stop Robinson, because I'm telling you, he stops Robinson, he stops Texas offense. And I'm going to tell you, he's going to come in ready to play. He's got his defense ready. KJ Jefferson, hopefully he's got him prepared and got all that first game jitters out of the way. But I see Arkansas coming out, and Arkansas is going to win it at home.
Somebody mark the tape.
Exactly. If there's a way we can save that tape, I really want to do that. No doubt.
Look, I'm just saying.
Christian said, I love you. Christian said, I love you, Nathan.
I'm just saying.
Look, they're getting a bromance going. That's sweet.
Look, I just want to say this. Sam Pittman is a heck of a football coach. He's going to be prepared for Steve Sarkisian. Steve Sarkisian, he does have a team over at Texas, but he doesn't have that playoff contender yet. He's not going to have that team this year, and Arkansas is going to be the one. And I'm saying it now because I know Oklahoma and I know Texas coming to the SEC, but I hope that Arkansas comes in there and just bust them all up. So I will say
Wes, do me a favor real quick. Throw Paul Anthony's comment up there.
Yeah, sure.
First half is a key. If Arkansas can hold it down in the first half, we'll win. Anybody going against the Hogs this week doesn't deserve to be a Hog fan. Paul, you're my brother, man. I love you, man, but I had to pick Texas. In my heart, I want Arkansas to win. I don't know. I don't think Texas is going to win big. They're going to have our number.
But that's going to be the upset. That's going to be the upset this week. Arkansas over Texas in Fayetteville. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait.
Chuck Pendergrass said Pittman is going to use KJ's legs more in this game to open up the pass game. Chuck, I agree. I think he will try to use KJ a little more in the mobility side of it. But KJ's got to learn to get down. Because if he doesn't, it's not going to be a long season for KJ Jefferson.
So here's a question for you guys. Do we see Malik Hornsby in this football game?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
I think we do within the first half.
All right, so I got a score update. NFL season has officially kicked off. It is Tampa Bay and my Dallas Cowboys. 4:45 to go in the first quarter. It is 7-0 Bucks.
Wow, that didn't take long for all you Cowboys fans to start crying out there.
Did not see who scored. I just see the score update.
He's just looking for fantasy points. All right, Brandon, are you going to take Texas in this one? Or are you going to take the Hogs?
I'm going to one-up you and take Texas by 50 on the hill. I think Arkansas.
Y'all are reaching.
I think Arkansas. I'm fixing to get some heat from the inside the hog pen followers. I think Arkansas is the worst team in the SEC West. And I think they're going to finish in last place. I'm going full heel right now. I feel like Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And I think, brother, that the Hogs are going to get ran over by the Longhorns.
And I'm choosing Arkansas State to beat Memphis.
Hey, by the way, Bum, real quick, Brady to Godwin.
That's Hollywood Bum.
Touchdown.
Get it right. Nathan, let me ask you a question, man.
Go ahead.
You ever been to Jonesboro, Arkansas?
I have. Driven through there plenty of times.
Not a bad little city, is it?
It's not. You blink, you miss it.
Yeah, well, touche. You ever been on their campus?
It's been a long time since I've seen the campus.
Well, myself, Christian Johnston, Brandon Bumgarner, all from 4-Star Sports Media will be there Saturday. We'll be going live with tailgating. We'll be going live with post-game press conference. We'll be in the press box covering the game for 4-Star Sports Media. Might even have somebody down in the field taking some pictures, taking some videos. We're going to be in the house this Saturday, 2 days from now, in Jonesboro, Arkansas, to watch Arkansas State take on the Memphis Tigers. You know, Arkansas State played Central Arkansas last week. It was close, and then Arkansas State came out second half, made a change at quarterback. Former Florida State quarterback James Blackman made the start for Arkansas State. Did not play all that beautiful first half. Central Arkansas played a good first half. Second half, made a change. They come back to win 41-14 against Central Arkansas.
Can we take a second and mention who the quarterback that came in for Arkansas State was?
Okay.
Lane Hatcher out of Pulaski Academy, the former Alabama commit, went to Alabama, came back to Arkansas State, and I want to say his stats were dang near perfect. I think
they were good. They were good.
I don't like 10 for 10 or something like that.
It was like 10 for 12. Yeah, 10
Yeah,
for 10.
I mean, they were up there.
Yeah, he's not a bad quarterback. He can sling it. When you look at the Memphis side of things, obviously we started the true freshman last week, Seth Hennigan. Transfer Grant Gunnell is out with an injury. Actually ended up having surgery this week on his Achilles, so he will be out for the foreseeable future. I'm not exactly sure a timetable on him. Brandon may have more information on that when we get to him. I thought Seth Hennigan came in last week, played poised, played under control, played smart, made good decisions with football. I thought our running, when I say our, I mean Memphis, I think that I really think that our running game is going to be the most impressive thing to watch in this game. I think we're going to pound them. I think we're just going to run all over them. I'm going to be the first one to take a pick here. I'm going to take Memphis. I'll take Memphis 45, Arkansas State 13. What about you, Zach?
I'm going to go Arkansas State simply because Brandon went Texas and said what he said. No, I can't do that. Memphis. I think Memphis is gonna win. Arkansas State's good, but I don't think they're as good as Memphis is. I don't think Arkansas State's offense can match up with Memphis's defense. It'll be good for about a half, and then Memphis will coast on into the win.
Nathan, what about you?
Yeah, so I'm going with Memphis here. I mean, the young quarterback, the freshman quarterback they have at Memphis, he's really talented. I like the way he played in the last game. I think Memphis is going to come in. I don't even think it's going to be close. I think Memphis by 2 touchdowns.
Okay. All right. By the way, it's now 7-7 in that professional football league game between the Dallas Cowboys and your defending champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brandon Bumgarner, Hollywood Bum, we come to you. Give us your synopsis on Memphis, Arkansas State Saturday.
Hello, friends. We're back with another episode of the 4-Star Sports Pickem Show. The Memphis Tigers won last week, as we told you. I told you that true freshman Seth Hennigan was going to sling that thing, all over the field. Well, he slung that thing all over the field. 10 o'clock. Sorry, you hear me working in the middle of my promo. But, yeah, so here's what's going to happen this week. Butch Jones has already ruined his game plan. He said on the Arkansas State radio show that they were going to load the box against the Memphis rush defense. What a dumbass. I'm sorry, the guy's just a terrible football coach. But you can load the box. Memphis has an All-American wide receiver and an All-Conference wide receiver Not to mention one of the greatest tight ends in college football history as far as yardage. Memphis is going to win this game by 40, and I'm not going to be surprised. Like Arkansas State fans have been DMing me on Twitter. Oh, Memphis better watch out this week. What are we watching out for? What are we watching out for? You play in the Sun Belt. The Sun Belt. The Sun Belt. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. You play in the Sun Belt. You don't even deserve to play us. Hell, you don't even deserve to play football. Butch Jones is your head coach.
Brick by brick.
Brad Staten says,
Champions of life.
Brad Staten says, can we say dumbass on this show?
I can say whatever I want on this show because
we can.
Well, one,
That's all.
because we're not regulated by anybody. But two, like I'm going to keep it as PG as possible. They say worse things on professional wrestling, but yeah, it's going to get ugly on Saturday, boys, and I'm going to enjoy every single second of it, sitting in the stands with our fans.
I agree. I think it's going to get ugly too. Now, I have to be non-biased when I'm in the press box, which it's going to be hard. Not going to lie, but it's all right. And by the way, Brad, thank you very much for
internally.
watching. Yes. Oh, I will. I will scream internally. I'll be cheering.
Thank you for watching. I didn't mean for that comment to come off across.
Yeah. No, they don't care.
Being an a-hole.
No, I honestly think that Brad enjoyed it, to be honest with you. Brandon's working the Delta Fair right now, so he's pulling a little double duty here. But thank you to everybody watching tonight on 4-Star Sports Show YouTube page, Inside the Hog Pen with Razorback Zach Facebook page, 4-Star Sports Media Facebook page. Nathan Wilson has been in the room with us tonight. Razorback Zach from Inside the Hog Pen. We are missing Christian Johnston from the Hog Trough.
There you go.
There it is.
There you go.
I am Wes Pruitt from The Point. Brandon Bumgarner is also at The Point. Nathan Wilson's with us on The Point. By the way, guys, we're going to be in the house Saturday all day in Jonesboro, Arkansas. But wait, there's more. Sunday from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., we will be broadcasting live from Sidecar Cafe right there on Whitten Road in the Interstate Highway 40, right there in Memphis, Tennessee. Sunday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. We're going to have Memphis Tigers guests. Very special guest. Kristen Johnston will be hosting his show, the Hog Trough as well, live. Zach will be joining them for that as well. It's going to be a day event. Come on out and join us. Come on out. They got TVs everywhere. They got some of the best bar food you can get in America. Let's just be real about it. Rick Haygood and the company over there do an incredible job. Come on out to Sidecar Cafe. Hang out with 4-Star Sports Media. You won't be sorry that you did. I can promise you that.
And don't forget, for the fans of Inside the Hog Pen, we are back live tomorrow night, 7 p.m. on our Facebook page. Gonna be talking a little Texas ball, and I'm gonna try to discourage any more brand.
Can I come on and talk about how Texas is gonna win by 50?
No, you can't. Nah, come on, Brandon, you can have me. But 7 p.m. tomorrow, we're gonna have What's in the Cup. That's my favorite segment coming up, and brand new segment we're bringing back. Everybody remembers it from the Man Cave show. Bringing back Idiot of the Week.
I love it.
Idiot of the Week. So stay tuned.
I'm definitely a candidate for that if Texas loses.
I wasn't going to say anything, but it's there. But 7 o'clock tomorrow night, be there. Going to be fun. And then Saturday, I'm going to be live from Fayetteville all day long. All day long. For the Texas and Arkansas game. Kickoff at 6 p.m. I'm going to be in the stadium doing live shots. It's going to be loud. 80,000 of my closest friends calling them hogs.
That's insane. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Saturday on the 4-Star Sports Media page as well. We'll be live. We're doing a tailgate. We're going to be out there grilling. Got some music going, bringing the TV, bringing the Roku, doing it all. We're going to be live all over Jonesboro, Arkansas.
Wes, we forgot one live event September 25th.
Oh, I didn't forget. It was next on my list to get.
Oh, go for it, man. I didn't mean steal your thunder. Go ahead. Go for it.
Live September 25th from War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock, Arkansas. It is the Little Rocktoberfest. It's where all the distilleries in the state of Arkansas, the home brews, the IPAs, all of it, come and put on a great event for an even greater cause. That's really what it's all about at the end of the day. At the end of the day is the cause. It is for what again, Zach?
So it's going to be benefiting, and I don't have the actual name in front of me, and I apologize. I'll have all that tomorrow night. But it's going to be benefiting the Arkansas, I think it's Arkansas Coalition of Down Syndrome.
Yes.
And great event. Man, I tell you, we've done a few of these live.
You can get you a bratwurst while you're there.
Yeah. So tickets are $35 before the event. They're $40 at the door. They've got some VIP tickets as well. Those are $50, and you get a souvenir and you get early entry. Those are not available at the gate, so you're gonna have to get those early. They've even got one for those that don't drink. They call it the designated driver package. They're $25. You get a bottle of water to walk around, and you get a soft drink and the bratwurst dinner too. So come out, enjoy it. We're going to be talking about the Southwest Classic, but we're going to be there all afternoon talking to the distilleries and getting some
insight.
Thank you, Wes. My brain just kind of hit a curve there. You're going to get some insight from a couple of people. One who is a avid beer drinker, and one who is not an avid beer drinker. So you're going to get both sides of this coin when it comes to the brews. Come out, hang out with us, enjoy the game. They're going to have the Southwest Classic on the Jumbotron. We're going to be on the field. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Going to be a lot of fun for sure. 4-Star Sports Media. We are all a big family here. So right now you're watching guys from 4-Star Sports Show, The Point, Inside the Hall Pen, the Hall Trough. We bring it all together for big events like this. Every week we'll be coming back live to you. We may switch over and just do YouTube only coming up a little bit, just kind of switch things up a little bit. But we will be doing this every week, bringing you guys game picks and breaking down for sure Memphis and Arkansas games in depth. Thank you to everybody watching. For Wes Pruitt, Razorback Zach, Nathan Wilson, Brandon Baumgartner, Kristen Johnston, we are out.